we need to talk. At least that is the message that came through while connecting with your energy, Aquarius. Maybe this is you saying this is somebody else, or someone else needs to get on the same page with you. But either way, it feels like an important time to have a conversation, and it feels like you are getting to the heart of the matter. I know when people hear this phrase, it can kind of cause people's hair to stand up. It can be kind of a scary thing. Your mind jumps to worst case scenario. But I don't necessarily get that. It does feel like a very serious and kind of heart-centered conversation, though. So it might actually bring you closer together with somebody. And I want you to be very open to that possibility. I did also see the image of a candle while connecting with your energy as well. And at first I was thinking of things like candle magic, or using fire very intentionally, either for manifestation, spell work, or even just setting some kind of intention or symbolically doing something. So that could be a practice that you are doing right now, or something that could be helpful for you. And as I was looking at this votive candle, it was a red candle, it did kind of shapeshift and morph into a lantern. And from there, I heard the expression burning the midnight oil, which often refers to working late into the night. But I feel like for many of you, this is actually more about studying, or more about doing some kind of envisioning or planning. Maybe some of you are working on a project as well into the night. That could be a message for some of you. Definitely comment down below what it is that you are doing. But I also kind of thought of the manifestation piece with the candle. And it feels like working with manifestation or setting intentions. And it reminded me of sets, or state akin to sleep. I think it's Robert Goddard who talked about this. And it's very similar to like law of attraction, law of assumption kind of thing. But your mind is very suggestible when you are in this state. And so that can be a really powerful time to say those affirmations, to kind of claim what it is that you want, to set intentions as you're very drifting, like as you're very close to sleep, drifting off into sleep. This might be a powerful time for you to work. I do also feel like for some of you, you could be waking up very early, maybe before dawn, and that could also be kind of a time to do this as well. So that might be a message for some of you. I did pull a couple of animal cards here, and we will get into the tarot in just a moment. We'll pull those as well. But first, I want to thank all of you who support this channel with your likes, shares, comments, and subscribes. If you haven't done so already, now is a great time to hit that subscribe and bell notification, as I'm looking to rebrand, so that way you can always stay up to date with what's in the cards for you. I do have a sale on my website, so if you're looking to book a reading, energy healing session, or astrology chart reading with me, you can get 15% off using the code Jupiter through June 24th. So if you're feeling ready for that deep dive, snag that while you can. And just a reminder that these are general readings, so really trust your own intuition and discernment to figure out what messages apply to you and what should be left behind for somebody else. Maybe even take a moment to pause this video and really connect with your own energy so you can best feel out what is meant for you at this time. So the first animal card I got was actually the black egg. And this is literally the throat chakra card. So I kind of saw this and was sort of gobsmacked, actually, because it was like, yeah, I was literally just getting like, you need to talk. Someone is expressing their truth. It might be you, it might be another person. It actually could be both parties is the thing. And I don't even know if this is just between you and one person, or maybe it's many people that you're doing this with, Aquarius. I feel like there are some very big conversations, and it's time to have the conversations that maybe you've been avoiding or just waiting on having for whatever reason. This feels like it is time to speak your truth. And I think on an even deeper level, reconnecting with your truth. What is true for you? And listening to yourself, listening to your own inner voice seems really, really important here as well. And because it seems like manifestation for some reason is really prominent in this reading, I feel like the words and stories you tell yourself are also very powerful at this time. And so again, there is something about using affirmations or the words that you are speaking or thinking have an impact. And so choose those wisely. And I don't mean this to be like a thought police sort of thing, or to like try and control how you feel, or try and, I guess, bypass how you feel more specifically. But I think there's something to finding the balance between having presence with what currently is and acknowledging that as a truth, and also reframing things for yourself, finding ways forward, or considering other possibilities as well. Like, I might be feeling this way. It might feel like my life is stuck, or it might feel like this relationship is doomed, but that's just how I'm feeling. What else might be going on? What am I being alerted to here with these emotions, with these impressions? So really listening to yourself, and that doesn't necessarily mean jumping to worst case scenario again. So I want you to really kind of ground yourself, especially since the other card was the Phoenix, which interestingly corresponds to the root chakra. So we have the root and throat chakra. These are both spirit cards. There's only 7 in the animal spirit deck. And this feels very much like there is a rebirth. There is something that is changing on a foundational level. And it feels like you are finding your fire, finding your truth, finding your spark again. And this actually could be something that is happening between you and another person, is what's kind of interesting with this combination as well, especially if you are in a partnership, or maybe even with someone you've had a connection with in the past. I actually could see that because the Phoenix does represent resurrection or revival, and I'm not usually the type of reader that really likes to talk about like exes or reconciliations, because I frankly think that stuff is kind of predatory. But I feel like there actually might be something here where you're kind of finding the spark in a connection again. And maybe that means you reconnect with an ex, maybe, but I don't think that's necessarily what this is, even for most of you. I think this is more about finding the passion, finding the fire, finding the reason you love somebody. And that doesn't even need to be romantic. That could be platonic. That could be with a friend, a family member. It could even be something for yourself, like something you are reconnecting with, something that you love or loved. Finding the fire, again, finding the light. And fire does seem to be a really important element for you right now as well, Aquarius. So very curious to see what we have. I actually did feel very called to pull from the Rider-Waite deck today. I kind of just grabbed the Wild Unknown deck sort of instinctively, or not instinctively, just kind of out of habit. But I'm feeling like we need to go to the Rider-Waite, and maybe for some of you there is this message of going back to the basics as well. I could kind of see that with the candlelight energy. What are the messages that we have for Aquarius? Ooh, okay, lots of different cards coming out. So I had a bunch of cards flop out, but I had a few that actually landed on the deck, or landed on the table here. I feel like I'm having a hard time communicating, and maybe that is something that you need to do as well. And if you're feeling sort of scattered, maybe with these cards flying everywhere, it's important that you take a moment to quiet yourself and really listen to yourself and figure out what it is that you want to say. That is a message I am getting for some of you. But anyways, kind of an interesting combination. I have the 3 of Wands, 3 of Cups, and the 10 of Cups coming in together. I feel like there's a beautiful celebration on the way. And I don't even think you see this coming right now, to be honest with you, Aquarius. I don't think you see how good this is about to get. I think you are stepping into a really exciting, fulfilling chapter. I think doors are opening for you. I think there are possibilities that you're not even considering for your life right now. I really do get a beautiful sense of celebration with this 3 of Cups. And people coming together. It could just be you and one person, but it feels larger than that, actually. Especially because I do have the 10 of Cups as well. It almost gives me like the sense of a family reunion, or like gathering with people that feel like family to you on a soul or spiritual level. Maybe for some of you, this is also about traveling to a place of ancestral homeland or connection, or traveling to a place with like-minded people. So it does feel like you are reconnecting with your people, Aquarius, whatever that means to you. But what's interesting is I did get the Six of Wands in reverse. And so it feels like right now there's actually a bit of a setback or feeling defeated. But I don't think you've been defeated. And I think your failure is more of a not yet. You haven't failed at anything. It's just not happening right now. But I do feel like something is happening soon. What is all of this about? Let me kind of clarify this. What is all of this about? I'm getting something with project. I also heard the word music. Interesting. Wow. I feel like you almost feel like you've been wandering in the dark for some time with the Two of Swords and the Moon. You have felt a calling on a primal or intuitive level that you've tried to ignore, or that has just otherwise confused you, eluded you. There's something very mysterious, I even want to say unknown, at play here. And I feel like part of this is like having those soul-bearing conversations. Like I was talking about at the beginning, we need to talk. Say the things that kind of scare you. Or say the things that maybe you just aren't saying enough of. Tell someone why you love them. Go there is what I want to tell you, Aquarius. It's time to go there. Because there's something really powerful about being vulnerable, listening to your intuitions and your emotions. What is all of this about? Ace of Wands. So here's that candle. I knew this card was going to come out for you. There is a passion that you are reconnecting to, or a light that you are reigniting. I was talking about candle magic earlier, using candles to manifest or set intentions or for protection purposes. I honestly also get something maybe with sex magic here with the Ace of Wands. I did just look up at the timer on the camera and it was at 12:34, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Something is building. But I feel like there is something new and exciting here. What is this about? You could be creating maybe a new career or some sort of project, making something with the King of Pentacles, or stepping up. I feel like there is a victory here, and you kind of just need to go for it. If you want the raise or promotion, ask for it. Go after it. I don't think it's about waiting for things to come to you. Because I feel like a little bit of effort or action or just one conversation could change your life right now. Like this one conversation could change your whole life, Aquarius. It is time to speak some things into existence. And as I say that, I see the Fool coming out of the deck. So it does feel like just going into something, almost brashly. And I mean, use your own discernment here. What are the messages for Aquarius? Interesting. Strength. I really do feel like now is the time to be bold. You're finding the courage again. You're finding conviction again. Something is being revived for you. I did see the Six of Cups a moment ago while shuffling, and it does feel like you're reconnecting with an old passion or an old light, an old flame, but this feels like it's part of you. For some of you, maybe this is like an old connection as well. Maybe you're reconnecting with somebody and you're kind of just like, whoa, almost forgot about this person, actually. Or you might be dreaming of somebody, is something I'm getting as well. And as I say that, the Queen of Cups, yeah, there could be a strong spiritual, emotional, or psychic connection, but you're finding emotional clarity for yourself. Because the Queen of Cups can really take in a lot of other people's opinions and emotions and words. And sometimes the Queen of Cups can lose track of herself. And maybe that's something you've done in the past, but I feel like with this card, you're finding clarity. You know who you are. You didn't necessarily know who you were before, and that's why you weren't ready for the next chapter. Like, whatever has not worked out for you, Aquarius, it's because you were meant to transform more or embody yourself more. You are still in this sort of process. Yeah, there is clarity. That is exactly what I was saying. Ace of Swords with the Queen of Cups. You have emotional clarity. Your intuition is spot on. And I feel like that's just how this reading is feeling. Like, as I'm saying things, the cards are just so literal. It started right away with that black egg card, where it's like, yeah, conversation, communication is really important. Finding that clarity, finding that truth. You are cutting to the truth. And it's interesting because this Queen of Cups almost does feel like a Queen of Swords with this combination. But she does have the compassion. She does have the empathy to her. And that still gets communicated. That still comes across. Whereas with the Queen of Swords, I do think she's actually a very caring figure. But she doesn't always come across that way. She can come across as quite cold or cutting. Page of Wands. Yeah, you're reconnecting with something. You're reconnecting with your fire, your spark. It's like I've been saying. Reigniting the fire. Stoking the flame. I'm also feeling like some of you are kind of in doing like perspective shift work, like finding things to be grateful for. I know that's like kind of a cliche thing, but I do feel like gratitude is really powerful for you right now because it does help you change your thinking pattern. And sometimes when you do that, you can disrupt sort of a negative loop or get out of it or see possibilities or see things from different angles. Any other messages to kind of clarify what we've been talking about? Any other messages? You know, I'm feeling like I want to go into relationships because I feel like there's, again, something about a big conversation coming up. Knight of Pentacles. Maybe some of you are connecting with an earth sign. Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. Tell me about this Knight of Pentacles. What's going on here? Maybe a relationship has gotten kind of boring. Or you've just been sort of in a routine with people. And I feel like that's why it's important to kind of have conversations that you don't ordinarily have. And there's nothing wrong with the Knight of Pentacles. That's just something I'm kind of feeling for some of you. Yeah, reconnecting on an emotional level with that Six of Cups. I did technically pull this in reverse, but intuitively I knew it was supposed to be upright. But what I kind of got from that was like, emotionally you've been disconnected. Like I was saying with this Knight of Pentacles, and now you are reconnecting to the heart. Finding the passion, finding the emotion, finding the soft sweetness. It's like, I feel like if you've been in a relationship for a long time, it literally feels like falling in love with someone again. Or getting back into that time. Maybe you are finding new connections too that make you feel things you haven't felt in a long time. You haven't felt this way in a long time. Wow, Judgment with Six of Cups. Both of these cards can be indications of people coming back from the past or reviewing old themes, old patterns, old cycles. I felt it with the Phoenix though too. I'm gonna be honest, Aquarius, some of you really could be reconnecting with an ex, and that doesn't mean you have to get back together with someone. Maybe you just hear from them, or there's some sort of conversation, and really use your discernment here. And it might not even be an ex. It might even just be someone who you had some kind of connection with that might have been undefined, and then you just sort of lost touch. And I feel like this person is back all of a sudden, or kind of out of the blue, because I don't think this is necessarily someone you're even thinking about that much right now. Because I feel like you had to come into yourself more first, and maybe so did this other person. What does all of this mean for Aquarius? King of Cups? Yeah, I feel like either you or this other person has been maturing emotionally and spiritually. That has definitely been needed. A lot of scorpionic energy here too, actually. So maybe you're connecting with the Scorpio or another water sign, Cancer or Pisces. And I also want to tell you to look at the Virgo and Scorpio parts of your chart, because that could also be part of what you're reconnecting with. And Sagittarius too, okay. Because there is that rebirth that's coming in with the Phoenix. And I kind of think of that in the zodiacal order. Like, you go from the death, the ending, the transformation of Scorpio into the rebirth, the renewal, the new lease on life with Sagittarius. Anything else for Aquarius at this time? Paying attention to your dreams. Meditation feels really important. Four of Swords with the Hermit, which literally has the lantern in here. I kind of felt like this card was going to come in too at some point, and it's interesting that this is like coming in towards the end. Whatever your heart has been desiring, Aquarius, it feels like you haven't actually been ready for it. And I know when the ego hears that, it gets defensive or wants to like find another explanation for something, or it's like, no way, like I'm totally ready. Well, how could I not be ready for this thing that I want so badly? It's because you needed to heal something in yourself first. You had to not need it, or else, is what I'm getting. And that could be about another person, that could be about whatever it is that you've been desiring. Like, whatever your heart's desire is, it's taken time. You've kind of needed to detach a little bit. Even sleep on something here with the Four of Swords. That's sort of interesting. I, again, want to tell you to pay attention to dreams as well, because there could be some important messages or symbols that are coming through in your dreamscape. And if you've done dream incubation in the past and that was something you were really into, that also feels important to connect to as well. That is something I just got kind of specifically for some of you. So maybe it is time to keep a dream journal and to practice lucid dreaming techniques. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, things are changing. And underneath that, the Four of Cups. You don't see how things are changing. Like, there is something so unexpected that you do not see coming. And I just want to say underneath that there is the Lovers as well. So it could be the form of a relationship or a commitment for some of you. You're noticing things you've overlooked, and I think that's actually interestingly part of the gratitude practice, Because that sometimes comes up to me with the Four of Cups. It's like seeing things as they are, seeing the new possibilities that are being presented to you all the time that you might not even be noticing because you're so focused on something else. And so it does feel like the universe is trying to hand you a new opportunity or a new relationship. Or someone is trying to give you a new opportunity or relationship. And you need to kind of prime yourself to see or receive that. But it feels really, really positive and exciting. I really do feel like, Aquarius, you didn't think you could feel this way again. You thought something was over and done. And I feel like it's not just about a person or one thing. It's almost like something didn't go the way you'd planned or hoped. And it almost changed the way that you looked at life. And now there's this renewal, this hope. The hope is being renewed. You're feeling more like a younger version of yourself again. And I almost get the sense too, there's like a ripple effect of, wow, I didn't even think this was possible. What else is possible? And that's a great attitude actually to get into as well. Because I feel like there is a ripple effect here that feels really, really beautiful. Anyways, Aquarius, those are all the messages I have for you at this time. I definitely hope that this was helpful. This gave you some things to think about. Give us a little phoenix emoji if you've made it all the way to the end. Let us know. Definitely share in the comment section what is coming up for you. What's coming back? What are you reconnecting with? What's been going on? Because it feels like it's honestly been a really emotional time with the moon and the Two of Swords. But I do feel like you're coming out of a heavier energy and into something much lighter. So I hope that's exciting for you. And yeah, you can find links for personal readings, distance Reiki sessions, and astrology chart readings. All of that is on my website. You can get 15% off through June 24th using the code Jupiter. You can also find links for all of my other social media accounts as well, and you're welcome to check out the other videos on my channel. There could be something for your moon, sun, or rising sign, so you're welcome to look at any of those, maybe even your chart ruler, really any placements. It doesn't matter too much. Just use your intuition to pull you into the messages that feel right for you at this time. And I will see you in the next video, Aquarius. I'm sending lots of love and blessings your way. Take care.